strong. The last half of his race is his forte, and if there's trouble and he happens to get a bit of a swoop at them going down the back straight, he'll be one that will be finishing over the top of them, and it would not surprise me to see him fill a place if there was a bit of trouble.
Okay, 4 numbers for the race, the Auckland Cup tonight, Craig.
1, 7, 8 and 2 for me, and I can't really split Raw Energy or Thrilling Quest.
It really is a quality field when it comes to the 2013 running of the MTA Auckland Cup. So far we've seen Sangster take out the Barfoot and Thompson Galloping Cup. Who will win the Greyhound Cup? Let's get the call from commentator Peter Early.
Yes, look, there's just 2 fighting for favouritism, isn't there? Raw Energy and a Thrilling Quest, and I think they'll both be fighting for the lead to get into the first bend. It's going to be telling, charging off the first 60 or 70 here into the bend. Who's going to come out in front? Riley's Mate, we know, does need to lead as well. That can jump and go. Thrilling Quest, if she decides to catch the hop tonight, she can be a bit iffy at times. Thrilling Quest, so it's going to be an interesting battle, the first 50 or 60. So about to bring them up, the running, the MTA Auckland Cup for 2013. Raw Energy goes up, a pretty good Fancy Tip and a Thrilling Quest. Riley's Mate, Coco Whiz, Thrilling Allop, and a No Class off the outside. Joint favouritism, the pair of them. Raw Energy 240, Thrilling Quest 240. Book's not quite balanced yet, so we're in for a battle. Or will it be someone else? Last couple go down. MTA Auckland Cup 2013. Bunny rolling forward. Set, ready. Good luck to you all. Just about there. The race, Raw Energy stood. Bit of speed coming here, middle of the pack here with Coco Whiz, and showing up there too is Fancy Whiz. Round the outside, getting a bash was Thrilling Quest, being tucked to the tail. Let's pick him up down the back. Fancy Tip in front for Schofield. Pretty good running second. 4 back there we go to Coco Whiz. That's followed back there now by Thrilling Allop, and Riley's Mate trying to kick into the races. No Class, long wait from them. There are the 2 faves, Thrilling Quest and also Raw Energy. Off the top they come, and Fancy Tip for Schofield's kicked away. Fancy Tip the cup. Pretty good second. And then we go to the next runner across would have been Coco Whiz, followed there by No Class. Out wide of the track was the next runner further back on crossing. We would have had there Riley's Mate just got tucked back towards the tail of the field, and further back in transit there would have been Thrilling Allop. Thrilling Crest went on a little and beat a couple home. But Fancy Tip, write your ticket out here. For the Schofield Kennels, jump and run. And it jumped and run tonight. Favourites are out the back. But number 5 all the way. Fancy Tip for Dennis to beat the 3, the 4 and the 8. There was a little function here last night, and I said to Dennis, what was the dog or the last Auckland dog to win an Auckland Cup? He couldn't remember, but it was Freddie Magic for Dennis back in 2006. And he does it tonight with the Fancy Tip and a 30 and 41. Running was 14 and 82 as we just taken the replay here. Favourites were a little bit slow. Thrilling Quest got bashed going into the first bend, and that was the end of the section for her. But it was number 5, Fancy Tip, splits 471, 15 and 59, and that running of 14, 82, 30 and 41. 3 by 3 3/4, the official margin. Well, there you go. You can't write a script, can you? You just cannot write it. And a Fancy Tip for the Schofields. Premier Fantasy, Flash Fancy, owned, trained by Dennis and Pam. Pam will be smiling for a week and has done the job, guys. Favourites, slow away. The bitch got a whack going into the first bend, Thrilling Quest. And that was the end of it for them. But let's not take anything away. You've got to jump and find the lead. And a Fancy Tip did it, and he's done it well.
Top win here for Dennis Schofield, and that cheeky $2 each way on this Greyhounds came through. It's about around 29s and 4s. Dennis Schofield, he'll be over the moon. Let's get to Craig Roberts now with Dennis.
Dennis, how does that feel, mate? Box 5, Fancy Tip. Going into the series, did you realistically think you could win the final?
Well, there's a chance, but I didn't think I was going to qualify. We got knocked over on the corner, and we were very lucky to even get in the race. And
Mate,
I've got to say to you, after that run in the semi, no, but gee whiz, that's dog racing. Fancy Dash, I thought it was a Monty.
Mate, let's go back to last year, the New Zealand Cup time. He put in a super run there, and he looked like he was going to be. Yeah. This dog was Group 1 material. He was going to compete, and he just didn't
went off the boil.
Did a wee bit. You've got him back here, and he's got the job done. Fantastic training.
No, look, I think it's just a bit immature, and the way he is, he's like he's a couple of weeks short of being restricted age. I think he's 25 June, and look, I've paid a lot of money for him, but you know, he's delivered today. I'm pleased. I better go, mate.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
there you go, Dennis Schofield there. Andy got the bonus too. He's fourth with Coco Wiz as well, Brennan. So here was a guy probably realistically going into that final thinking, look, if I can get some money, I'll be happy. Bad draws. Comes out, wins it with Fancy Tip and gets third with Coco Wiz.
Yeah, and it was all about that first bend, wasn't it? We spoke about leading into this race that it was greyhounds that showed that early zip into this bend and were able to overcome that sort of carnage and did the favoured runners. They just got carved up, including Thrilling Quest being one of them, and that was the end of her race from there. But this greyhound got straight on the bunny, did Fancy Tip, and was at a big quote. At around $30, it's paid $29.40 and $4.40. Beating home number 3 Pretty Good at $2.70. And Coco Wiz at $4.90. The Quinella has paid $89.10. The Trifecta at $1,868.60. Get this, nobody's got the first 4. So a carry forward into race number 11 of $7,234, 5, 3, 4 and 8 with those numbers. What about pick 6? Now pick 6 is going to get very interesting. We'll have that for you shortly. $131.40 for numbers 4 and 5 in the double. And there's the concession. Pick 6, 6.18 live units. Now if we do have an upset in the next couple of races, there is a chance this could go to 5, or it could be a very healthy payout for some punters out there if we go outside of the 2 shorties in the last 2 legs of the pick 6. Nervous times out there for some punters, Johnny Bright, if they're still live in the pick 6. But an upset result in the MTA Auckland Cup. It goes to Dennis Schofield and runner number 5, Fancy Tip.
Lucky shoe, which I couldn't find. Someone's knocked it. And then very superstitious, as you can tell.